Good evening, students. In this session, we will continue the urine formation. So, under this urine formation, what is that? Functions of tubules. So, what are the tubules are there? Renal tubules only. Renal tubule only divided into the different parts. The first one is the PCT. Under this PCT, what happened? Here, all the nutrients, nothing but of glucose, amino acids, and also all the nutrients and electrolytes like that of sodium chloride and also bicarbonate, water, everything is going to be reabsorbed. So 70 to 80% of nutrients and electrolytes are reabsorbed. What is the nutrients means? Glucose, amino acids. Glucose, amino acids are the nutrients, and electrolytes means sodium is the one of the electrolyte. Along with that, water also. Along with that electrolytes, water also reabsorbed. How much? 70 to 80%. The next one, selective secretion. Selective secretion also done. Selective secretion means, so reabsorption means from proximal convoluted tubule into the peritubular capillary. How much is that? 70 to 80% of all the nutrients and electrolytes are reabsorbed from PCT to the peritubular capillary. The next one, selective secretion. Peritubular capillary to the PCT, what are the things are going to be secreted? Hydrogen ions are secreted, potassium ions are secreted, and also the ammonia is secreted. So what is the meaning of secretion? PCT to the peritubular capillary to the PCT. Reabsorption means PCT to the peritubular capillary. The next one, this is happen in the here bicarbonates also, HCO3 minus also reabsorbed. Along with that, nutrients, water and electrolytes, bicarbonate also reabsorbed. But secretion is only 3 constituents are secreted: hydrogen, potassium and ammonia. The next one, after the PCT, the next one is the Henle's loop or loop of Henle, which is having the 2 limbs, descending limb, ascending limb. What is the importance of Henle's loop or loop of Henle? Here descending limb is there. Here commonly water is permeable. Water is permeable. Electrolytes are impermeable, nearly impermeable. That means almost all impermeable only. That means not at all allowing, only water is allowed. That is the thing is happened in the descending limb. In the ascending limb, quite opposite. What happened? Water is impermeable. Electrolytes means sodium chloride. Those are the electrolytes. Electrolytes are permeable. That is thing is happened in the Henle's loop. Then if you see the distal convoluted tubule, this is the distal convoluted tubule. DCT, distal convoluted tubule. So here what happened? Commonly water and sodium ions is reabsorbed. Conditional reabsorption. Conditional reabsorption is done. What are the things are happened? Conditional reabsorption, water and sodium ions. From where to where? From distal convoluted tubule to the peritubular capillary. Then selective secretion. Selective. SS means selective secretion. Selective secretion means peritubular capillary to the distal convoluted tubule secretion is done. What are the things are commonly selective secreted? Potassium ions and also the hydrogen ions and ammonia. These are the selectively secreted. What is the importance of the selective secretion? To maintain the ionic balance and also the acid-base balance. Then after that, collecting duct. CD means collecting duct. In this, what happened? Reabsorption of water only done. Reabsorption of water means from collecting duct to the peritubular capillary, reabsorption is done. Water only reabsorbed. Selective secretion. What are the secreted things are happened? From where to where? Peritubular capillary to collecting duct. What are the things are secreted? Hydrogen ions and potassium ions are secreted. What is the importance of secreting the ions? Are to maintain the electrolyte balance or ionic balance and also the body fluid volume. That is the importance of the secretion. Next one, concentration of urine. Concentration of urine. Before that, I will once again recap that. What is that? Urine formation, 3 steps: glomerular filtration, then tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion. Glomerular filtration means filtration done in glomerulus. Tubular reabsorption means from renal tubule to the peritubular capillary, the nutrients are absorbed. Then tubular secretion means what are the waste present in the peritubular capillary already absorbed. From that absorbed nutrients, what are the waste is there, that is going to be secreted into the renal tubule. Nothing but of PCT, Henle's loop, DCT, collecting duct, everything. That is about the mechanism of urine filtration. Now, how the filtrated urine is going to be concentrated? How the concentration is done? With the help of counter current movements. Counter current movements, how it is done means, it is done between the, what is that, Henle's loop and also the vasa recta. What is the meaning of vasa recta? Whenever the peritubular capillary winding the Henle's loop or renal tubule, that is only we are called as vasa recta. It is done between Henle's loop and vasa recta. What is the vasa recta? Vasa recta means winding of peritubular capillary to the renal tubule. Winding of peritubular capillary to the Henle's loop or renal, entire renal tubule is actually winding, but we are consider here it is winding the Henle's loop. That is only called as vasa recta. In between that only counter current movements are done. With the help of the counter current movements to increase the concentration of the urine. Now, how it is done? We can understand with the help of a small diagram. So, concentration of urine is done with the help of counter current movements. It is done in between the vasa recta and Henle's loop. So, Henle's loop is present in the, what is that, nephron, and vasa recta, which is winding the nephron. I mean the Henle's loop part of the nephron. Now, what is the meaning of counter current movements? Here, which is it is the 300 osmoles, means it is nothing but of the cortex region of the kidney. Cortex region. 600 milliosmoles means medulla region. The medulla region also outer medulla region. 900 to 1200, which is all called as the medulla region only, but inner medulla. This is the inner medulla. What is that cortex? Outer part of the kidney. Medulla is the inner part of the kidney. Medulla again subdivided into the outer and inner. What is these 1200 and also 900 like this mean? These are all the electrolytes which is measured with the help of the milliosmoles. What is the constant milliosmoles? Here is the inner medulla 1200 in both the vasa recta and Henry's loop. The constant value of electrolytes is 1200 milliosmoles. It is the descending ring of the Henry's loop. It is the ascending ring. That means which is moved in a. What is the direction is? Which is moved in a. What is the direction? So here in the Henry's loop, down descending limb, ascending limb. Here what happened? In the anti-clockwise direction, the electrolytes are moved. In the vasa recta, clockwise direction, electrolytes are moved. So vasa recta, it is the descending limb, it is the ascending limb, and Henry's loop, it is the descending limb, it is the ascending limb. So molecules moved in this direction here. Here the molecules are moved in this direction. So quite oppositely done. It is a clockwise, it is anti-clockwise direction. What is the importance of this? To maintain the constant electrolytes in both the vasa recta. Vasa recta means blood vessel, and also the Henry's loop means nephron. In both the nephron and also the Henry's loop and also the vasa recta, to maintain the constant electrolytes. That is the countercurrent movements. Now, if you see that, if the sodium chloride is released from the ascending limb of the Henry's loop, which is going to be entered into the descending limb of the vasa recta. From this descending limb of the vasa recta, it is entered into the ascending limb of the vasa recta. So, see here, the vasa recta and Henry's loop. So here vasa recta is having the, what is this? Ascending limb, descending limb. Here descending limb, ascending limb and collecting duct. These are the parts. In the ascending limb, whatever that sodium chloride is released, which is going to be entered into the descending limb. Which is going to be entered into the what? Descending limb. What are the sodium chlorides are released from the ascending limb of the Henry's loop, which is entered to the descending limb of the vasa recta. Then it is entered to the ascending limb. Then it is entered to the, from the descending limb, it is entered to the what? Ascending limb. So that is the way the sodium chloride molecules are moved. Then what about the urea? So urea is going to be moved from the descending limb of the vasa recta to the ascending limb. Then it is entered into the collecting duct. From this collecting duct, it is released outside. Excess amount of urea is going to be released outside in the form of urine. So, exchange of sodium chloride between the nephron and vasa recta and urea between the vasa recta and Henry's loop is sodium chloride, and sodium chloride between the Henry's loop and also the vasa recta, and urea between the vasa recta and Henry's loop is done. That is only we are called as the countercurrent movements. how it is going to be done means they can maintain up to the 1200 milliosmoles, then counter current movements can be stopped. Otherwise what happened, counter current movements are continuously done. In the blood of the human body, electrolytes are decreased means it is taken from the nephron. That means that which is going to be electrolytes are moved from the nephron into the human blood, the body of the blood. If the nephron having the less amount of the electrolytes means, then from this blood, that means the vasa recta to the nephron, electrolytes are moved. So electrolytes are commonly sodium chloride and urea. In these two substances are going to be exchanged between the nephron and vasa recta into the nephron. That is only we are called as counter current movements. With the help of this only to increase the concentration of urine. So that is about the mechanism of urine formation. Next one. Stop. Up to that, to maintain the constant value, up to that it is continuously done. Whenever it is reached to the constant values, then it can be stopped. The next one, regulation of the kidney. So regulation of kidney. Regulation of kidney is what is the meaning of regulation of kidney? To maintain electrolytes balance, to maintain electrolytes, blood volume and body fluid volume constantly is called as the regulation of kidney. To maintain electrolytes, blood volume and body fluid volume constantly in the body, that is only we are called as the regulation of kidney. It is done with the help of the three important parts. The first one is the hypothalamus. So hypothalamus, how it is helpful. Now, whenever the fluid volume is decreased, body fluid volume is decreased. How the hypothalamus helpful means, whenever the body fluid volume is decreases, then what happened? What are the osmoreceptors present in body that is going to be activated? Osmoreceptors are activated, then send the message to the hypothalamus. Send the message to hypothalamus. Then after that, hypothalamus activate posterior pituitary gland. Posterior pituitary gland. Then what happened? After that posterior pituitary gland activated, posterior pituitary release anti-diuretic hormone, ADH, anti-diuretic hormone. So that what happened? Reabsorption of water is done. So that what happened? Body fluid volume is increases. Increases means nothing but of the come back into the normal level. That is the importance of hypothalamus. The next things we are going to be continuing the next session. Thank you very much, students.